There's the magical mushroom movie, Shrooms.
But that's a horror movie.
But it's made it somewhere. Magical mushroom made it to horror.
That is pretty good. They made it into movies.
Well, I just heard that we're gonna show the movie to Brad Pitt.
Really?
Because Brad Pitt, we have to give the full respect to, was the inspiration
For the whole movie.
For the whole movie, because in True Romance, he's so funny in a 2-minute scene.
Yeah.
That the Colonel, the idea was, what if it was a movie that was all about that guy?
It's true.
And how come there's no good action in Cheech and Chong movies?
It's like for this black and white scene, we actually got the idea from that documentary Grass. That guess who fucking narrates it? Woody Harrelson, surprisingly.
Wow.
And in that scene, they show actual tests that the government did on people in, I think it was in the 50s or 60s, but we kind of moved it back a bit. But we sort of thought that was.
Here we go. Here's my favorite.
There you go. Thanks, Ed. Me too.
Handsome fellow.
I think the thing about this movie is it's the end of the era of all of us making and writing movies that we think will not get made or seen.
It's true.
What seems to be special about it is it was written by you guys with not that much belief that someone would do it.
Oh no, me and him would always say, we thought Superbad would get made one day.
Maybe by us.
Maybe by us. Because we just knew, Todd, there was some precedent for it. There's a high school movie, someone will make it. We knew we could make it eventually.
But it is so brilliant, it's so beyond anything I've ever seen, Superbad. I am shocked that you would think it would ever get made. It's so
About 18 companies disagreed with it.
Exactly. But this movie, we really never thought it would get fucking made. It's a great, we understood. It's one of those ideas you would tell to people, and they would look at you like you were fucking nuts. Or writing a weird action movie. And no one said ooh, that sounds good. Everyone was like, why are you writing that?
See, I thought it was the opposite. I thought that this was the movie that was super commercial.
How did you think that? I never understood this.
Well, because no one would make Superbad, and I thought, well, maybe that's just because it's like liquor and an entire movie with underage kids begging for liquor. Maybe that's too hard, and one day we'll get it made with Seth's grandson playing the lead.
Exactly. Shecky Road Club.
But there had been stoner movies before, so it seemed like most stoner movies with action didn't seem that weird. There was Harold and Kumar and movies like that. And only when we were shooting Superbad, and the dailies were coming in every day to Sony, and I was trying to tell them they should make this, and didn't quite get it. And then one day they called up and said, you know what? We still don't quite get it, but the Superbad dailies were so good. I guess you should just go do the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
But it also seems to me you can kind of hang your hat on the genre of stoner movies for a specific budget, and so I think that's kind of one of the reasons that it seemed to me like this was somehow responsible, is because you feel at least on DVD, you can sell to enough people that are high that justify what you're doing, and then try to push the envelope once you shoot.
That's what I thought too. I wonder if it probably is the most expensive weed ever, I would imagine. But as James points out, the cheapest action movie ever. So we land somewhere in between.
Well, it's funny because when people talk about people look at the pacing of the movie and all that, and it's funny how the movie was designed for the fact that there was only enough money for 3 action scenes.
Exactly. People say it really stops and starts. Well, we just literally couldn't afford to have it go the whole time. We need a 10-minute scene, but just fucking just eat up time. Now, Jen, you came up with the idea for this whole high school thing. Why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Well, it's always, we always debate, how to do the relationship well or in an interesting fashion. And I thought that the idea of dating a high school girl seemed like something I hadn't seen before. Maybe in my head I was just thinking, Seth and Evan think I'm such a pussy with my ideas.
I'll show that. You really did. I remember you brought up in the trailer one day for one of the movies, and then you left, and me and were like, holy fuck, can we really do that?
Yeah, you were excited when you said it.
It was great.
Do you sell the idea that she's 18 at all?
We never say exactly how old she is.
Secretly, she's 14.
In my head, she's 14.
There is no sex scene to disturb us.
Exactly.
Right.
But she's so good, and you do feel, the idea that she's too hot for him, and sooner or later she's gonna dump him, and that seemed to be the weird turn that came out, which is a guy who knows he's lucked out and his life is going nowhere, and the girl represents someone that just reminds him that he's a piece of shit, even though he's screwing her.
Exactly.
It can't last.
Can't last at all.
She's too good for me.
This guy's.
I was just gonna say, I wish there was 3 more minutes of him in this
Yeah.
sequence here.
What's his
Well,
name?
it's not, he was an interesting one to cast
Arthur.
because it's
The jock dude or the
people
teacher
came in.
dude?
The jock dude.
Yeah, yeah.
No, the teacher
Each one of
dude
those guys had
was-
such a positive attitude that everything he said became hilarious.
Did you guys
He was
talk
so
to him?
optimistic.
Did you talk to him at the premiere? He was so fucking pumped.
He was super
I
sunny.
had no idea that he was really like this.
Oh,
He
you
came wearing a shirt with a neck, like
A necklace embroidered onto
onto
it.
the shirt.
I thought the shirt was badass.
Yeah.
I bought one the
The
next
story is that my brother somehow ended up with the shirt.
It's true. Your brother was holding. Was he holding the shirt at the end of it?
I think he got one of the girls from Superbad to get it off of him somehow. I
Your
don't
brother
know-
just
I don't know
sounds
how he
like,
went
I
along
want
with
that
it.
fucking shirt, man.
Wait,
Yeah.
this guy was in Superbad too?
No. One of the girls from Superbad was at the premiere, and somehow it got
She finagled the shirt off of this guy.
Wow.
Now, I know you're concerned about the Jeff Goldblum joke,
I was a little
but
concerned.
I think
about
it's
it.
pro Jeff Goldblum.
Well, it
It
says
definitely is. I told him, I said, you guys are all Jeff Goldblum. I just spoke to him this morning.
Oh, good.
I went to see it.
I get closure on the Jeff Goldblum joke. That's
And I
great.
said, these guys love you. And he says, yeah, that's what I assumed was the case.
That's
That's what I
good.
hope was the case.
That's
I said,
good.
believe me, that's the case.
Because I see him at the. I go to the same sushi restaurant.
He said that. He said he misses you at the sushi
I know.
bar.
I always see him, and I saw him once, and I was like, "Fuck! I should probably tell him there's this joke, maybe just to warn him, to let him know that like he shouldn't be insulted." And then I like totally pussied out, and then I said to my girlfriend, I was like, "The next time I go there, if I see him, I'm gonna do it." And then I went there and I saw him again, and I totally pussied out again. I just talked to him for a while. He's a super nice guy, but I didn't know how to. I literally didn't know how to word it. And I just was thinking like, do I say like, so we kind of say like, fuck Jeff Goldblum in this movie we're doing, but I figured he would just see it and get it. 'Cause, yeah, I don't think it's derogatory.
in hindsight, we should have put something at the end of the movie like, Jeff Goldblum should not go fuck himself.
Exactly. We think we should not. Yes.
Or like a credit button, which is just Seth trying to do a Jeff Goldblum impression.
Yeah, exactly.
In the mirror alone.
In the mirror alone.
But see, I don't feel bad about it, because I know he's a great guy. I worked with him at the Larry Sanders Show. But on the day that I had spinal surgery on a disc, my wife was in New York shooting a movie, spending the day having sex with him in a movie.
Wow.
So you know what I say? Fuck Jeff Goldblum.
What movie is that? That satisfies several fantasies for me. It's a movie that I bought today. Exactly. Leslie and Jeff Goldblum. Wow. Finally. That's hilarious.
And then I said to him, I saw him afterwards, I go, you know the day you shot that scene, Jeff, I was having surgery. And he was like, your wife was wonderful.
Well, your wife seemed unfazed by it.
Although my impression is a little bit like the barber from Andy Griffith Show.
Yeah.
But,
Floyd.
I'm glad.
this is the long scene. This is the scene that gives us the money to pay for the action.
This is a long motherfucker of a scene.
You know what, I'd throw in just a little shout out to Chris Spellman and the production design.
Yeah.
It's like, you know when you're gonna be sitting in a location for so long in a sequence, like, it's a sequence you can discover all the little.
Most people don't notice the
there.
mural of the parking garage that's right behind us right now.
I think we should point out a few things in here and in Red's house.
The mural, where'd the idea for the mural of the parking garage come from?
I wanted it to be like actually had somebody go out and take that. I wanted it to be like he had this window, and then that's all he could, come up with. That's as creative as he came.
A parking garage.
You know what else I gotta say for Chris Spellman and all the people in the props department is they made the weed.
And the weed looks good.
The weed is all incredibly fake.
What did they make it of?
It's like they glue together little bits of plants.
Yeah, the actual weed plants in the movie they just made and spray painted.
It's like Lionel train set, kind of lichen or something.
Just
Exactly. Yeah.
It looks kind of like that. If it's not, in fact, weed, it must be that.
No, it's very
Yeah, it's
plasticky. But we burned it all in.
I just heard for the first time what James's secret acting technique was for playing stoned.
It's true.
It rocked my world. You had to say, James, what it is.
It's not real. It's just something I tell the people so they get off my back about all the heroin I take.
He was actually on the verge of death this week.
But actually, we tried it on the morning
early show.
Yeah, the early show. I said, just pretend like you're looking into the wind, and you
Did it, and he looked really high.
It actually does work.
He did it on the early show.
What was that guy's name?
I'm doing it right now, it feels like.
It does.
But that was not what you were doing.
No,
But you will not, mainline, you'll just skin pop, right?
Yeah,
There's no way.
exactly.
Because his kid's gonna be listening to this.
As Ed, I know that when you do a character, you secretly say, what animal from the animal kingdom is he?
I think like giraffe.
Marsupial, sure.
Giraffe.
Yeah. The weird thing about this whole commentary that's interesting is that Ed has just way more drug stories than anyone.
I know, it's pretty awesome actually.
Like we're like the kids, but you are like laughing at us like you're Rod Carew or something, and we're just like rookies.
The '70s was a year of stuff. I did a normal lifetime amount of everything. I just did it in about 10 years.
Let me ask you a question. How come I look older than you?
He eats organic foods, yeah.
I know. He is the
He
embodiment of health.
recycles, he sort of getting.
And I quit all that in '79 because I was headed for a toe tag. But believe me, I did inhale, unlike our former president. A lot. I did a lot.
Through every orifice.
Now, do you think this is a pro-pot movie or an anti-pot movie?
I say anti. It's that they get the great speech that you have about, look, my life's a wreck and all this stuff. That's what I walk away with. That's what I choose to hear.
But I think people will watch it and really want to. Right now is when everyone's smoking weed. Right now is when everyone who owns a DVD is lighting their joints.
You show the consequences of use, not just recreational use.
That's very
It's
true.
a sleeper message.
Look
If you're
at my
19,
boy.
it's like, I wanna go get high. By the time you're 26, you're like, no, I was thinking about pineapple.
Exactly, you realize.
So you have to smoke pot for 7 years to get the message.
Yeah.
It's what potheads would call a creeper message.
Because I just tell my daughters that the point of the movie is if you smoke pot, you'll get attacked by Asian gangs.
Exactly. Asian gays should all murder. But we have a visitor. Oh, Ed's gotta go.
That's it for Ed Begley.
Wow, I want to see more, but I do have to go work. Drag. This is a great movie. Thank you for having me in it.
Thank you for coming, Ed.
Is cash inappropriate? For
Yeah, I mean, it's $3 each.
A car, another item.
And where can they get the cleaning products?
Begley'sBest.com.
Okay.
Begley'sBest.com. We'll plug it.
Yeah. I use it like the rest of the
Where,
time.
you know, there's a
Can't go out
DVD
there, I'm
special
sorry.
on Baby's Best.
Yeah,
That's right.
He's stocking the shelves. It's great.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dude.
All right, Ed.
Go get it.
Don't get any of that.
Oh,
Snake flakes.
Stickle Fritz is what the effects guy calls his assistant.
G-Bert's been mentioned in some reviews.
I know, I don't think
really?
you've ever seen a sound mixer mentioned in a pothead
Yeah,
review.
Roger Ebert gave him a shout out. I think that's probably the first time a production sound mixer has ever been mentioned.
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing.
It is really good.
But I mean,
Maybe I'll start a trend.
when you really listen to Pineapple
It does
Express,
sound good. And Tim Hardy gets props in the reviews and shit, which is nice. Even people who hate the movie agree that it's shot well.
Oh boy, here we go.
Craig Robinson's here.
Craig Robinson is here.
Wearing his Boy Scout uniform.
I thought that he just came from the office, and then I realized that that's how you dress in life.
He just actually works in a paper factory.
Rosie.
What's over there? Everyone's coming. What's happening, Craig? How's it going?
Awesome.
How's your experience been?
It's been unbelievable.
Good.
What's the word out on the street, okay?
The word on the street is this movie is awesome. I could show you some textual feedback.
We got textual feedback from Craig's friends.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's
Is it good?
yeah, it's pretty freaking amazing. You know, we just that freaking batch. But other than that,
It's okay. How's it going, Rosie?
Alright.
When'd you get to LA? From New York. Are you even here?
Friday,
Oh, Friday.
Friday night.
There you go. What are we doing audio commentary?
Okay.
How's it going? If you're just joining us, it's.
What's funny is the commentary's been going on for like an hour and a half and we haven't left this one scene.
Exactly, that's a long scene. You just gotta power through this one, I think, is the way to go with
It's
it.
my favorite actor is about to come, the guy in the shorts.
I saw that guy recently and he looked so handsome and normal in
Yeah, I saw the premiere, it's very bizarre.
Who was that guy, Dave?
David Cook.
That's
David
David
Cook.
Cook.
He went to college with me and Danny and him and Chris, and he's an editor and a post-production supervisor.
Of course he is. He's
All the time after this.
And there's literally no chance he doesn't work on Flight of the Conchords.
Exactly, yeah. And that's
Howard.
That's Franco stand-in.
That's the handsome guy.
That guy, yeah, no, the guy with the with the little rat tail.
He's
No,
handsome
the
in
guy with the
person.
mustache is handsome in person. I mean, I don't know if I'd say I'm like super handsome, but in comparison to what we got there, he's pretty good. Look at that rat tail. I had one of those. Nice.
What do you think of the rat tail?
I had a rat tail.
What do you think of it? Are you proud of it?
I thought it was rad, and then it became uncool. And I was saying people started calling them fag tags, which was not cool in my opinion. But that was very lame, and I kept it even after that happened, just to prove that I would not succumb to their negative jargon about it. And then I eventually cut it off. I had a long one though. I could wrap it around my head twice.
The guy from New Kids on the Block that looks like the Fonz, he had a
rat tail also, yeah. They were big for a while. My dad had a rat tail, I think that's why I grew up.
I had one.
I have never copied a haircut of my dad.
I did for some reason, I don't know why, you never have?
Not on purpose, but I think I've stumbled into it now.
Your dad has a lot, I think your dad might have more hair than you do, I hate to say.
I still have my dad's haircut.
Really?
Yes.
The exact same haircut.
Afro. Classic.
Little classic afro.
You had dreads too, man.
I did have dreads in high school.
I have one of them still in a plastic bag, and I joked for years, and it is now true that I'm gonna sell it on eBay.
Cool, man.
Alright, man.
Well, thanks, good to see you.
Alright,
man.
peace, brother.
Okay, yeah.
One love. Well, there was a moment, you know, when we did one of the table reads, where this great writer and comic who started Upright Decisions Brigade, Ian Roberts,
Oh, he had so many good ideas.
he really just pointed out that
He really got this movie.
we owe him like a flat screen.
We really do owe Ian Roberts something.
But he really pointed out that this idea of like, are you friends with your drug dealer?
Odin had a
was an
tick.
interesting thing that was already kind of in there, but not
Kill it.
focused on. And then I remember the next pass, you guys took a real run at it. Like, how could we make it a little creepier to hang out with James's character?
Yeah.
And where you added the euthanasia bits
Yeah, and all that.
and the Phantom stuff.
Yeah, we added that James really wants to hang out. And Jonah actually had the funny idea of seeing like other guys come in and buy weed, so you can see how we like normally deal with people versus like how nice he is to me.
No, it was good to get the other
Eager.
side, because your thing was like, that you never wanted to hang out with him. And there's some people that would not leave the dealer, and I know people that have sold weed, and like,
Yeah.
they would have to pretend that they were leaving and then drive around the block, because people would just.
Yeah, you told me that story. I think that's a great story. That is someone who won't leave.
This is a real piece of violence here, too.
This is.
Yeah.
You blow a guy.
I think this is fantastic CG. Look at
This is all CG. All that bullet is CG. The whole thing is.
The Asian guy, CG.
Rosie Perez is CG right there. She's not even there.
I didn't realize I was so short until this morning.
Really? I'm so sorry,
For real,
Rosie.
I was like really upset.
You're kind of little.
Gary Cole's shockingly tall.
Yes. This
That's
house,
what it is.
that house is a very famous architectural house in Los Angeles. Schindler designed it.
Of List fame?
Of List. No, Jesse when he was singing writing the list, he designed a house in Glendale.
Come on. Come on.
But yeah, Rosie, right there, and you're kinda uphill from him too.
Odin, come on. Where is it? Go get it. Go get it.
David, what were you thinking about with all of these locations? Because I was looking at them and thinking, these locations are awesome. I would never think of any of those.
Yeah, we were always trying to find things that didn't feel like had been overly exploited in LA. I was trying to find something that had a little character and a little extra detail. detail, and something like that house just seemed like a perfectly expository place to murder someone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the place where Seth is pressing the buzzer was a place where I think people got murdered all the
That
time.
was actually not the nicest building in the entire world.
Yeah, people would throw piss balloons while we were shooting there, throw them off the upper floors of that building. It was kind
Oh,
of
this building, yeah.
People were throwing piss balloons and I missed it?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
a
you
common
can
thing
imagine.
downtown where if you shoot in downtown LA, they throw like piss and shit out the windows.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had ashtrays
Oh.
thrown.
What? I did not know this.
Not a good.
I'm moving downtown.
I think it's they don't get paid if they're like in the apartment building.
So they throw piss balloons at you.
Well, yeah, that's a natural
A
thing.
logical tendency.
How do you fill a balloon with piss? Do you put the balloon over the dick?
You just have a
It's hard.
strong stream.
You
need a good funnel.
A good funnel help? Yeah, a funnel I think is the key. I got my piss funnel for my piss balloons.
This was a funny scene because we debated whether or not to CGI out some of Seth's
I
sweat.
was really sweaty. I don't know, I don't typically prepare much into that, like I would never like, I really don't do much to prepare for any scene, but this scene I actually like was running around the whole time before I ran into the
You ever
apartment.
watched the behind the scene of The Shining where Nicholson is like working himself up before here's Johnny?
That's where I got the idea. And, and I was sweating balls. And chicken fries,
Oh, man.
people don't hear that in the theater. So that's not technically extra for the DVD, but you're probably hearing it for the first time. We did not shoot a lot of coverage on this scene, we're gonna go back and shoot more, but then did not think, here's my boring facts for this scene.
I have to say, overall, everyone did a pretty amazing job in whatever logic there is to the story.
There is not much, but yeah, people really go with it in a way. It's funny like seeing it written out in the reviews, like how they write it out like it's normal, but it's not. It's like, well, it's about a process server who buys weed, and this is a murder, and it's so rare that the weed is traced back to him and his dealer, and they go around together. Everyone's like, what the fuck? I always try to imagine like how I would interpret that if you know we were the ones who made the movie. I think I would like it. But
That's the one part that like we're not expert at,
yeah.
like the setting up all of the lines of when to kill people,
Exactly,
who's
the
mad at
logic.
who.
When you reveal that, you know,
I think we figured it out in this, they'll kill everyone in the same moment at the end.
exactly. Try to condense all your deaths in like 1 40-second chunk. And it's very satisfying for the audience. Where did that Santa Claus thing come from? And why would he have that if he was Jewish?
Chris Feldman, and because his aunt, Chris told me in his rationale.
There you go, see?
I like by the door, there's an inspirational,
That was my idea, the footsteps.
That was your idea?
Yeah, the footsteps poster.
Yeah, that came out like in
It came over because you improv. It was right before Rosie was gonna kill him. You start doing this thing where you think you're gonna die, and you're like, Red. I'm like, whenever there was 2 footsteps, I was clear in the universe. And so we thought it would be fun to set it up by putting the actual footsteps thing in there, but we didn't end up using it. But it's still funny, nonetheless.
Rose, is this the most violent movie you've been in?
No.
What's the most violent movie?
Are you?
I wanna
I will. I
you
know
guys
what's
gonna
right.
rent it.
I've seen it with Javier Bardem.
Okay, so
Yeah,
maybe.
I've seen it. Oh, I've seen the naked Rosie.
On screen.
That exactly. That movie's violent though.
That
That
was
movie's.
very violent.
That's very
They had
violent.
to, even for, cause it didn't get a rating in, America, that's why it couldn't be released, so they have a special edition in Spain.
Wow.
And like, they have like a little kid giving head to the drug warlord, like it was crazy. And then chopping off body parts to put in a stew, a
Who made that
stew.
movie?
This director, Alex de la Iglesias, and he did this cult classic in a Latin world called Day of the Devil. When the devil
I think we
comes
just
back.
wanted to just the
Pineapple Express
Exactly.
5.
Day of the Devil.
The rationale for why the money doesn't work out is insane.
Well, what's nice about having 2 characters that are based off their ass all the time is you don't need much logic for the most part. You know, just be like, they're stoned, they don't think
What
about
are the biggest logic holes that remain?
There are so, what are the big logic holes?
There's lots of little ones, really. big, massive ones.
Yeah, I don't think there's any
Logical.
huge ones.
Why did they show up all of a sudden?
Well, that's because you crack your head open on a tree. But, like, the fact is that, like, the Korean guy could probably still just kill us.
Yeah.
Because he knows our names and shit. But, in my head, he dies of a broken heart after all his men are slaughtered. And that story's wrapped up nicely.
I've had people say they kind of wanted to know what happened to the Angie character, but I think that
Oh, yeah.
doesn't matter.
Well, I think it's funny that he just forgot about it.
I think so too, yeah. It's like, that's how fast. I'm over it. Literally in that scene, I never think of her again.
I mean, Danny points out, like, I don't know, I'm just high or on the verge of death, but the whole point of blowing up the barn or the barn being on fire from the first talks was a way to get everyone insanely high.
Exactly, so it just doesn't matter what happens after that. We've all inhaled like 1,000 pounds of weed smoke. The rest is garbage.
Oh my god, one of my friends was talking about the movie and they were talking about the barn scene and he was like, man, they went into the barn and I saw all that weed. I wish, why did they take any with them?
I took a little.
That's our only other plot hole. Why did we take all that weed?
You know what I wish worked out better? The part where Franco's crawling in the tube and runs across Bill Hader's dead old corpse.
Is that on this
It's
DVD?
skeleton scene.
I hope not.
So,
I doubt it. It's not in the movie. It didn't work well.
no, it was Chester Copperpot, wasn't it?
Chester Copperpot.
No one's been to
Now,
that.
this isn't your hair, right?
That's my hair.
That is it.
That totally belongs to me.
This isn't your hair, right?
Me and Craig Robinson.
You guys have the exact same haircut in the movie.
And I'm almost out.
There was that time I was trying to talk you into getting
I
it.
know,
I
David.
wanted to have a box haircut.
David really wanted, and I kinda do have the same
Yeah.
haircut. The only difference is I have slightly longer sideburns
Yeah.
than the other
No
kid.
negative sideburns.
And then Troy, I think Troy will be in the extended version
Oh,
here.
nice.
He's got the same haircut.
He does
That
it.
haircut's called the Willie Stargell.
What's funny is, and I'm not joking, I would start laughing during some scenes with Danny just from looking at his hair. Like sometimes he would like stand in front of a light and like the silhouette would just like hit it in a certain way and I would literally just start laughing.
It's a little haircut 100.
Yeah.
That's an 80s pop band to
It
it.
is. It's got some like Belle Biv DeVoe to it.
It's Belvin DeVoe meets Flock of Seagulls.
Exactly.
He's also wearing Uggs, we should point out, in this scene.
I love the Uggs.
Yeah, those were just mine. I just wore those to set those things.
But didn't you just have them? Like, did they give you to wear the set?
I think if I got cold, they wanted me to.
Danny gets cold. Danny's feet get cold.
Yeah.
His temperature issues were a big problem. during shooting.
Exactly. Constantly cooling and heating.
Definitely. Alright, people.
Kevin could not look crazier sometimes.
He was stressed out going filming because he was staying at this place that the movie people put him in, and he said there was a Russian prostitution ring going on.
Really?
Yeah.
And is a Russian.
And he was trying to figure out how he was going to take over it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, yet.
It got pinpointed the leader. Usurping.
Well, we first met, I mean, I did a pilot with Kevin Corrigan years ago called Sing in the Head. And then he was on Freaks and Geeks as the guy who sells fake IDs.
Yeah.
That was the biggest day for me.
That was, I remember you were psyched
Yeah.
about that.
I
He was
just
like a real actor.
Buffalo 62, or
Six.
66, and
That was the prequel.
wheelchair in Goodfellas, and it's just like,
Yeah,
this
he's
guy's amazing.
It's true. What's funny is I was at a grocery store yesterday and I saw Vincent Gallo there shopping, and I almost went up to him and was like, "Hey, I just want to, I want to say like I would never know who Kevin Corrigan was if it wasn't for you." But then I realized like, oh, he's probably fucking nuts, and so I didn't talk to him.
When really he's just there to buy celery for his salad.
Exactly.
Shauna Robertson, producer, has arrived.
Sean!
Shut up on the phone.
What are you guys watching?
Pineapple. This is feeling more and more like a morning radio
I know.
show. We got
Well,
Sherlock.
Seacrest is about to call in.
Yeah.
I feel like Sean's going to do the news.
Exactly. What's the traffic like, Sean? Where are you, in Canada?
I'm up in Canada.
What's it like there right now?
Just trying to get a motherfucking scholarship.
Get a motherfucking scholarship. Is that kind of from Breakfast Club?
I would say so, with just an addition of a motherfucker.
Motherfucking trying to get a scholarship.
Shauna, what was the you know, the hardest part of producing Pineapple Express?
Well, one of the difficult times was, I think, something we're watching right now, which is the guys about to hit their head.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
That was a difficult day, but I think we came through with flying colors.
And what exactly happened that day?
The boys are very dedicated. Have you guys watched this part yet? Because I can't see what's
No,
happening.
but it's about to happen.
It's happening
It's
as you
literally
speak.
about to happen.
That's just foreboding.
Crazy.
The guys were very dedicated to their stunts, and we, of course, were dedicated to safety first.
Exactly.
But Franco did take a bit of a headbutt into a tree.
It's coming right.
Oh.
It just happened.
Franco, you wanna give?
Oh.
I have to say I was dedicated because I actually did hit my head twice. I ran into the tree for real twice.
But you didn't crack it both times.
I did. When they took the wig off, there was a cut at the back of my head as well.
How
The
do you
blood
get
had
back here?
coagulated under the wig.
Coagulant.
Do you have a scar?
On my forehead, I do, yeah.
He does have a little
Let's
I
see.
probably have one at the back of the head.
No, that's because there was a washer underneath the pad.
On top of
It
the
was
bag.
not underneath.
On top of the bag.
I have to say, when I walked over to the tree afterwards to look at what it was that was there, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! Like I'm he's not dead right now.
Yeah, when you look at the thing, you're just like, well, once they take care of these 4 metal chunks that are sticking out.
Yeah, it was like a
That's what they feel like saying.
it was a pad about the size of like
Safety
a post-it
third.
note with like 4 giant metal screws holding it.
I probably would have been okay if the pad with the screws had not been there.
Yeah, you probably would have been better off just running into a tree.
But then we wouldn't have had to break down the hospital.
And his pain kind of helps the movie because that's why we have him wearing that bandana.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Bag. We like the
Come on.
bandana so much that you kind of wear it throughout the movie. That's kind of cool.
Well, when
Sorry.
I was at UCLA the first time, they had a special screening of Fast Times, and all the dudes came dressed like Spicoli with like short shorts and the bands and everything. And then when we went to Comic-Con,
Alright,
there were a lot of guys like dressed like Saul, and they had the little
come on.
pot bag, the green bag, and the headband. So we would have never had that little prop.
Exactly, a whole marketing tool designed around your head injury.
Well, I thought the rest of the story was the reason why you ran so fast into the tree was because you were up late studying.
That's what you said. No, it's because Mike put the damn screw in there.